To get some reaction and talk about the fuel levy and the impact it will have on workers, we're joined now by COSATU spokesperson Zanele. Sabela, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. The fuel levy increase will proceed as the court has rejected the EFF's bid. What's your take on this matter?
Thank you so much for having us. So in terms of the fuel tax levy going up, it will obviously affect workers negatively. Workers are really indebted. The cost of living is quite high, and they've just been struggling to make ends meet, and this will be just another one of those things that just gets added onto their backs. And so it's really not a good thing, and we would have preferred that the Minister of Finance, as he has done in the last 3 years, to have kept the fuel tax where it was all along, as he has done, like I said, in the last 3 years, and that would have meant quite a bit to workers. But now, as it is, workers will have yet another burden to carry.
Some economists have suggested that the impact will be mitigated by a lower fuel price as the price of fuel drops at midnight tonight. I mean, do you think that kind of a sentiment will resonate with workers? What impact could it have on day-to-day lives?
It might for now, because we know that the fuel price goes up and down, depending on oil prices. And so for now, we are relieved that there is going to be that bit of a mitigation. But if you look at the fact that the fuel price levy is going up by 16 cents, while the fuel price is dropping by 5 cents, you can see that already there is actually a shortfall in terms of the recovery. And so for now it might help, but we don't know what will happen next. And the thing about the fuel price is that it affects everything. I mean, goods that we consume are all transported. And so whenever the fuel price goes up, then it tends to affect all prices, and then the final consumer is the one that gets to carry the burden, and these would be the workers. And unfortunately, that is how it is. And we would have preferred, just like we preferred not to have a VAT increase, we would have preferred for the minister to not have raised the tax fuel levy. And then government actually promised in 2018 and 2022 that it would review the makeup of these fuel taxes and look at it and decide whether to scrap it or not to scrap it. I remember there was a time not too long ago where we were given actually a reprieve in terms of these taxes, and that was a good thing for everyone. And so we've been waiting for that review to happen, and it still hasn't happened, and we are begging for government to actually make that come to pass, to make sure that workers are not carrying so much on their backs.
As you make that plea, we know that the outcome of the EFF's court matter, that ruling then puts Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana's plans to raise revenue of 3.5 billion rand into play. How does that now, impact the bigger picture as we look at the balancing act that the Finance Minister has been talking about?
Well, the Finance Minister, Shane, has quite a difficult job to do, considering how he has been trying to balance the books, and things are just not working out. Our economy is stagnant, hasn't grown by more than a percentage for the last 10 years, actually. And so we all know that unemployment is really high at 43.1%, and that for young people between 15 and 24 years, it's over 72%. And so something needs to be done, because to get that job creation from the economy needs to be growing at least 3%. And so there's a lot that the minister needs to be doing. And so it is exactly that. We need to see more support for Eskom, even though Eskom has been doing quite well. We need to see more support for Transnet. Transnet is very critical for the economy of this country. Metro Rail also needs needs that help so that it can ferry workers to and from work at a very affordable, reasonable price. And so those things need to be happening. Also, the other thing that makes these the fuel tax levies go up is because of the road accident fund. That is how it is funded. And maybe that needs to be looked at. The funding model there needs to be looked at to make sure that it is not so burdensome on consumers, and that's where government needs to be looking. I mean, we have said time and time again that these are some of the things that we need to look into. And so this is the time, more than anything now, this is the time. The minister will get his 3.5 billion rands, which quite frankly will be a relief to him, considering how he just didn't win the vet war that we were all engaged in.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us there, wrapping up the discussion with COSATU spokesperson Zanele Sabela.